Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. No, you don't have to adjust your cameras. I have an amazing charcoal mask on that I really want you guys to see instead of my bright face. We were going to say something about, oh, you ready for some football, but you can tell this is a mask and I love it. I am here with the so patient and so perseverance oriented one and only Christi Rossi. She is a big wig, a big deal with Mary Kay. We're going to talk about Mr. Self Care with Mary Kay today. Because, men, if you're not taking care of your skin, you're missing out. You are aging and you look older than you think. So let's try to rectify that with the beautiful, wonderful Christi Rossi. Welcome, Christi. How are you today?
Thank you. Amazing.
You look amazing. This feels amazing. I can't wait to talk about it. It smells amazing. But before we talk about what I have on my face and how easy that was, guys, by the way, to put on, I told you before we went live, the audience loves origin stories. So let's hear a little bit about Christi Rossi because you have a great story.
I would love that. So I have next month in October, I will celebrate 15 years with Mary Kay. And when Mary Kay found me, I was a single mom living up in Chicago and really just needing a good skincare routine. So I started on the products and I felt like I was living paycheck to paycheck, so I couldn't really afford them, right? So my girlfriend was selling them to me. And a while later, we were out one night and I was complaining about my skin. And she said, well, why aren't you using Mary Kay products? And I just said, I can't afford them. And she goes, oh, well, we get this huge discount, when you're a consultant. So I'm like, give me your discount. She's like, you got to join my team. So that's what I did. So honestly, like for 7 years, I was in Mary Kay because I wanted to look twice as good at half the cost. Like I didn't want to work it as a business. I shouldn't say it's not that I didn't want to work it as a business. I didn't feel like I had the time, right? I was working in corporate America. I had a son that I was taking care of on my own. And so by the time I was done working and getting him, homework, dinner, bed, all of that, I was done. And so what happened in those 7 years is if my son was with his dad on a weekend that they had a Mary Kay conference, I went because Mary Kay women are fun. You've had Mary Kay women on your show in the past, Ted, because my
have.
Lisandro was on your show. I'm like, whoa, you're on the TED show. I'm going to be on the TED show. We were like, yeah, Mary Kay all over TED.
Always fun.
Yeah. So I wanted to go just to have fun. But in those conferences, and that handful of conferences I went to over those 7 years, I learned the potential of a Mary Kay business and that there's more women in Mary Kay making over six figures than I ever knew about before. And they're earning free cars and all these great things. And Mary Kay Ash, the woman, like she started this company based on the philosophy of God first, family second, career third, and living by the golden rule of just treating others the way that you want to be treated. So I'd go home from those conferences going, man, if I had the time, I'd be driving that car and I'd be a director and all this, right? So I started to pray for a layoff. Now, I say that, but I was the lowest man on the totem pole. So I wasn't praying for anybody else to lose their job. I'm just like, it's okay if you let me go. I'm okay with that. Just let me go. And I did. I got let go. So that's when I decided to work my Mary Kay business. And so a month after I lost my job, I met my current husband, Tom, my caddy daddy. And
caddy daddy.
Yeah, he's my caddy daddy. You don't have any shame driving a pink car when it's free. I'll tell you that.
No, pink car, they're beautiful. You know those cars on the road.
Are you wearing a pink jacket for me today?
It's like corally pink. It's the closest thing I had this morning.
I love it. I just noticed that as I said caddy daddy.
Thank you.
So anyway, the first couple years were real hard because I was trying to get my footing and work a business, which I had never done before, and start a new relationship. And we ended up blending our families with teenagers. And as soon as we did that, he was offered a job here in Florida. And so we didn't just move in together. We moved 1,000 miles away. And that was like, my ex-husband decides to fight for custody of my then 16-year-old. And I won that battle, but that put me, I couldn't sell my house and my car. The market was just terrible. So I ended up filing a bankruptcy, a foreclosure. I ended up on public aid. So by the time I moved here and I won that legal battle, I was in the worst financial situation that I'd ever been in my life. And then my mom got sick in Chicago. So again, I'm flying back and forth on money I don't have. But the blessing in that is that there were two blessings in that. Number one, when I was fighting for custody of my son, I had to move back in with my mom because I wasn't allowed to leave the state with my son.
Wow.
So Tom and his son and my life just basically moved to Florida, and I had to sit back and fight that fight, which I wasn't happy about, but it ended up being a true blessing that I got that time with my mom. And then also while she was sick, I spent the last month of her life with her because she did end up passing away during that. And when I got home, like all the dust started to settle, and Tom and I had a conversation that Mary Kay really needs to start making us some money, or you may have to go back out and find a job. And I went, all right. Well, first of all, in corporate America, I would have gotten 3 days to grieve my mom, only because she lived 1,000 miles away, or I would have gotten 2. There would have been no time like that I would have gotten to spend with her. And so I really started to pray about it and just think, if this is where I'm supposed to be, then what am I supposed to do, right? Within 3 weeks, literally, I met this woman that took me under her wing, another pink Cadillac sales director here in Florida, and gave me the math. Like any kind of business, you're in real estate, mortgages, all those things. It's about how many people are you talking to, right? And how are your relationships? Are you building relationships with these people? It's relationship networking, right? And so with Mary Kay, it's how many people are you putting the product on their face? How many people are you sharing the opportunity with and asking for referrals, right? And so I just got to work. And less than 5 months after meeting her, I became a sales director and earned my first Mary Kay car. And
Congratulations.
Thank you. And there's 3 different levels of car. So you can keep moving up levels. So 3 months later, I earned the second level of car. And a year later, earned the Cadillac. And we've had now in the last 6 years, I've been a director for 6 years. We've earned 6 Mary Kay cars, and 3 of them being pink Cadillacs. We're getting ready to pick up our 3rd pink Cadillac any day now. We're waiting for the call.
So awesome.
Yeah. So
see, that's tenacity. I know you're tenacious.
Right. Yeah.
That's perseverance.
I love that word. I love the word tenacious. When I became a sales director, one of my consultants made a video of people just sharing stories about me, and she interviewed my son, and he called me tenacious, which at that time, that was probably the biggest word I had ever heard him use. And I'm like, wow, that's a great word. I'm so glad he chose that word. But Mary Kayash started this company 59 years ago. We just celebrated our 59th anniversary a week ago. And that was in 1963, when women didn't even buy their own cars, let alone start their own businesses. And she had raised her kids. She was a single mom. She had 3 kids. Her husband came home from the war, left her. And so she was working for Stanley Home Products. And she would do 3 parties a day and raised her kids. And then she remarried and she decided to retire from Stanley. Well, she had trained all these men that went on to be her boss, that made twice as much as she did. And so when she retired, she said, I'm going to write a book on what it looks like for women to have financial independence. And after she wrote the book, she said, this isn't fair. Nobody's going to believe me that this marketing plan would work, because we have a adoptee program. Like that woman that took me under her wing, she never made a penny off me. She taught me everything she knew. And that's just how Mary Kay is. If you have an idea and I have an idea, we both have one idea, but if we share it, we have 2 ideas each, so we're always looking to help and build each other up. So her husband was going to work the office and she was going to do the in-home parties, and she decided on skincare and cosmetics because she wanted a consumable product that made women feel beautiful. And a month to the day before she opened her doors, her husband died of a heart attack at the breakfast table.
Wow.
And everyone told her, Mary Kay, don't do it. You don't know what you're doing. You're going to go bankrupt. And her kids were like, oh, no, you don't know our mom. So her son quit his very well-paying job to open the doors with her. And today it's a multi-billion-dollar company. It's completely debt-free in 40 countries worldwide. It's still owned by her kids and her grandkids. She did pass away in 2001 on her favorite holiday, Thanksgiving. And, we've started a Mary Kayash Foundation that works to eradicate cancers that affect women and end domestic violence. We have no landfill from our distribution center. We don't test on animals. It's just an all around good, honest company that wants to make the world a better place and make people feel special. So Mary Kay Ash always said, treat everyone like they're wearing a sign around their neck that says, make me feel important. So that's my job every day. And by blessing others, our lives are blessed.
How are you not motivated when you tell that story? Anybody listening? Because I think we all want a company, an occupation, a vocation where we feel proud and good every day when we wake up, but it's also one that gives back. I mean, if we could have all of the perfect things in a company, what you just described is that. You love the products. The products are top notch. You can't tell yet on my face, but this smells good, like I said earlier, and feels good. But I think that you having all of the not tested on animals and debt free, I mean, everything that you talk about and empowering. I feel like she was just such a trendsetter, a visionary, really, especially during that time. That is that is not that long ago, but it's a big difference in time and what was going on. So I love that story, and I love your passion. Your passion is palpable. So let's talk about self-care. I know today's about men.
Yes.
Men in general are horrible at this. We don't know how to do it. There's a stigma in our brains. There is no stigma, guys, just for the record. But in our brains, there's a stigma about self-care. And most guys I know use the same thing to wash their face that they wash their body with. God forbid you put on a mask. Guys are just not good at that. The younger generation's coming up and understanding it, but especially my generation. But you can tell. I feel like the younger generation stays healthier as far as their skin and their appearance much, much longer than the people my age, because they've either started late or just have never embraced self-care, skincare. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. So.
When you are talking to men in general, obviously you've got to get past that if they have that belief, that stigma. So what is something that you initially start with them? Where can men start that's an easy place for you and Mary Kay to meet them?
Right. And there's so many different types of men, like you said, on the self-care bar, if you will. Men like yourself that are in the public eye a lot, doing a lot of networking. I find that a lot of those men will carry on the conversation about self-care. They want to, present themselves in a nice way. They want to smell good. So in Mary Kay, we have 6 different skincare lines, and they're for men and women of all ages, from preteen all the way up. And so the men's products that I have behind me, we have a full men's grooming kit with a face wash, a shaving foam, an aftershave gel, and a moisturizer that has SPF in it. And I think that that's probably the basics I would start with, is the cleanser moisturizer. And then if they want to take the shaving foam and the aftershave, it just depends, if they shave, if they don't shave. The ones that don't shave, we've just come out with a beard foam wash, which could be used for your entire face. So that's an all-in-one kind of thing, like you were saying. And we also have a beard oil that has 7 different oils in it and really helps condition, shape, soften the facial hair. My husband loves to have a beard and he looks so good in it. But when it stabs me in the face, he doesn't get, for No Shave November, when he goes hunting up in Illinois, like there's no kissing him anymore because it hurts.
These are important things to know.
Exactly. But with our beard oil, when he started using that, then his beard was soft. He could have that beard all year round. It doesn't bother me at all. And I like the way it looked. It's just, well, okay, you're going to look good and I'm going to kiss your hand.
Right? Love you, honey, but no, not No Shave November or whatever it's called.
Right. Our shaving foam is amazing because it's so moisturizing at the same time. With Mary Kay products, they're concentrate, so you only need a little bit. They're very high-end products comparable with all the high ends that you hear about. But we're about 1/3 the price point because, we're direct sales. So the tiniest little amount turns into this lather, and it moisturizes while you're shaving. So there's no ingrown hairs, there's no razor burn. And our can of shaving foam outlasts probably 5 or 6 cans of Barbasol.
Oh, Barbasol. Yes, I know it well.
Yes, I'm sure. So you got to get mine. And here's the thing, Mary Kay products are 100% guaranteed. So if you get something that you have a reaction to or you're not happy with, you're not getting the results, you can get your money back or swap it for equal value. And the company backs us up on that. So they guarantee.
It's no risk. I think people want to, guys, especially since that's what this show is about. And we'll have to do some follow-ups for women. Maybe we definitely want to do one in person at some point, Christi.
Yes.
But I feel like guys don't understand, me either. I'll give you that, why certain things are important. Now, I've learned over time, as I've gotten to be 800 years old, that things for my eyes are important. Preservation and plumping up and all of those words that we watch those commercials and go, what is hyaluronic acid? Like all of this stuff.
You said it right. It's hyaluronic acid.
I'm learning because I'm old and I want to look better. But so let's talk about, though, a mask.
Okay.
I would say that most men will not. That's the mask.
What you're wearing.
And most men will say, I've washed my face. All right, you want me to put on a moisturizer? Fine, as long as it's easy to do. Why a mask, though? What is it about masks for guys who don't know, and maybe even guys who think they know? What is the importance of doing a mask?
So the masks can do a lot of different things. We have exfoliating masks, which removes layers of dead skin. It keeps the healthy skin forward, keeps you looking younger, tightens the appearance of the pores. You're not going to get the blackheads or breakouts or anything like that. And it'll also soften the lines. Moisturization, just using the moisturizer cream helps the signs of aging, because the signs of aging are caused by lack of moisturization. So if you are not moisturizing your skin, you will age much faster. It's the difference between a grape and a raisin. What's the difference? Water.
Water, exactly.
Water. So drink your water, put on your moisturization, and you won't see the signs of aging, and the sun can be really damaging to your skin as well. So our moisturization has the SPF in it to protect you from the UVA, UVB rays. So that's important. Now, this mask that you're trying right now, this is the Clear Proof charcoal mask. And
while you're talking, I'm going to let people look. I'm sure they don't want to look and see.
Look closely, because as it dries, now it stays on for 20 minutes, and it was real dark when you first put it on, and you're seeing it lighten in some areas, and you're seeing it really darken in some areas. So what this mask is doing is it's drawing out twice its weight in impurities out of your skin. So where it's darkest is where it's really drawn it out. It's gonna pull out, if you have any of those blackheads or anything, any breakouts happening, it'll pull that out. And I'm sure you've seen those videos on Facebook where people have a charcoal mask and they're crying because they're trying to pull it off and it's stuck. That is so bad for your skin. You don't ever want to have to pull something off your skin. So this just washes off with warm water. You leave it on for 20 minutes and wash it off with warm water, and you can do it twice a week or as needed.
That's the other thing on masks. I think most people, even women, I would say, don't know how often they should do it. I know people who swear by masks, like that they've got their regimen down, but I think most people don't know.
Right.
And so the interesting thing, I am sure, I'm surprised my entire face didn't turn completely dark gray, because the impurities that are in there in my skin, I can't even imagine. But what I want to tell you is the first thing that surprised me is it was liquid. It's a liquid. It's not that dry. You know the ones I'm talking about. You basically pour it in your hand, and the water I didn't put any water, guys, on this. I literally took it from the little pouch that I had, the sample pouch, and I just put it on. I did not touch anything with it. And masks I've done in the past, you're right. I feel like I'm not just taking a layer of skin off. I'm taking parts of my organs out when you're trying to pull that stuff out. And it's chalky and it's hard, and it really feels like chalkboard chalk. Like it's
Mhm.
just not a good feeling. So the thing I mentioned earlier, that the smell and the texture were just so good, that would make me want to do it more. Sometimes I've avoided masks in the past because of that gritty, awful
Mhm.
feeling that you
Yeah.
get.
They're supposed to be
Um,
relaxing and feel good. We have gel
right?
moisturizing masks. We have a biocellulose mask that even has eye flaps, and you lay down for 30 minutes. It's a facelift in 30 minutes, and it'll give you 24 hours of hydration. That's like the ultimate luxury mask that we have.
I
And
love an ultimate luxury mask. This is the
see,
kind of stuff. So I think we're talking about men, but men in general then go, okay, do I ask my wife, or what if I don't have a wife? Like, what, I know that you're not hard sell because you believe in your product,
right.
and you should. It's an amazing company with amazing products. I think most guys would go, well, I know, but I don't know how to apply that. What if Christy's not with me when I have to do, like, you had to kind of instruct me too. Okay, Ted,
Right. That's
do
right.
the T zone. And I know guys don't make fun of me. This isn't really a T, but it was the thought that counts. It's kind of like a giant
You have
I.
a sideway H zone.
Yeah, I've got something going on, but we learn. But you have to understand that I think if um, you educate, there are videos, you have websites, like you have when you
And you have
have someone
me.
like, and you exactly when you have a consultant, a director who's
Right.
in your corner that you're buying the products from, they're actually a consultant. They are helping you out. They're consulting with you to see what makes sense for you. And so, of course, the instruction and the help and the assistance are there. So I don't want anybody to be fearful. I think anybody who goes into the local drugstore and picks up something and hopes for the best, that's fine if that's what you want to do. But I think all of us are much more in tune with our healthcare, meaning self-care, meaning skincare. And I want to encourage you that that's exactly what Christy will do for you. The same patience that she had for me trying to put on my sideway H zone. She'll walk you through that as well.
I'll tell you yesterday. So we had a huge event in the Villages on Saturday afternoon, and quite a few people went home with the skincare. And yesterday morning, I was in the shower and I had a message from one of the women that bought the products, and she was so frustrated. She's like, "The stupid cap, she just kept talking about the stupid cap, and she can't get it to work." So I called her back, and I just kind of laughed with her. I'm like, "What's going on with this stupid cap? Let's talk about it." So she goes, "Nothing's coming out. We can't get it open." And I said, "Well, remember I told you got to prime the pump. You got to pump it like 6 or 7 times before it'll come out." "Nope, we did that. And it's not working. And we tried to open it." I said, "You can't open it. It's airtight. You don't want to open it." I said, "Do me a favor. Is it in front of you?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "I want you to pump it." She goes, "Christy, I'm telling you, we've pumped it." I said, "Just pump it just once." She said, "Okay." I pumped it. I said, "Pump it one more time." And she pumped. She said, "Son of a gun, there it is. Thank you so much for taking my phone call on a Sunday morning." I said, "It's okay."
But that's the kind of service, and because you're not just, if people can't get this from, and we'll wrap it up in a second because I'll wash my face off
Yeah.
so you can see. But I think if people are not getting it, you're missing it. Christy believes in what she's doing and has a passion for it, passion for education about it, wants you to be happy, but also wants you to feel comfortable. You're building a relationship. You are a consultant. And so when it comes to skincare, you should be taking it that seriously that you have somebody in your corner to help you out. I think a lot of people, again, are fearful of not knowing what to buy, how to buy it. They want to have a company that doesn't test on animals, but I guarantee you over half or more don't even know if that's true or not because you can't find the information out necessarily. So it's so great to have a one-on-one person, and nothing against drugstores, but not the person in the drugstore who changes weekly because they're in and out of that. So I think it's just so important the way that you establish the relationship with your clients, who become obviously friends and that trust you and want that you support. So let me do this. So I actually got, almost like I was about to birth a baby. I got a pan of warm water. I got some paper towels. Obviously, it would be better if I was over a sink, and I had a washcloth.
Right.
But so tell me how, when you
So
rub this.
bring out the water. You don't want to drip. And what you're going to do is in each section, you're going to rest it on there. It's going to kind of loosen it and then just gently wipe, and it'll just come off with the paper towel.
I'm gonna put myself on solo layout here.
Okay.
and then you walk me through. So I've
Yep.
got it where it's
Rest it
dry.
on just your cheek there. Just rest it there for a second. It just moistens it up, and then wipe to the side, and it should come off pretty easily. You might have to wipe a couple times. Yeah, it just comes off real easily. You know what I love about being able to do this, because I was able to mail you samples and go over this virtually. Our company, when the pandemic first happened, we were always knee to knee, eye to eye around the dining room table. And we couldn't do that anymore when the pandemic hit, and we were not considered an essential company. And so
Oh, no way.
within like a day,
There's a lot of women who disagreed with that.
exactly. Within a day, they had shut down 3 of our 5 distribution centers in the United States.
Wow.
And so we were kind of in a mode of, oh gosh, what do we do now? Well, the company listened and they heard the call for hand sanitizer. And so they got the ingredients and they started making hand sanitizer and donating it to the front lines, thus making us essential and opening back up our doors. And we as a company, and me as my team, we've had our best years ever during this pandemic.
I love
because we can hold a video conference, we can send samples. We even have apps that'll do 3D analysis of your skin, and the women can try on their different glamour looks with an app. So it's really cool. Yeah, really cool the way they've taken it to the next level and helped us do this. Or we may have had some complications actually getting product. I would have had to send you full-size products to use. So
Well, I love how easy this is too. And if you guys, you can't tell, but it is, and I'm missing some spots obviously because I'm not in a mirror, so to speak, not really a close-up one with good lighting.
Right.
But it's easy to rub off. A lot of times, like I said earlier, when I've done these before, I feel like I am pulling out every ounce of, like, there's going to be no skin left.
Right.
When you're trying to clean it up, but this is so easy to get off, and would be much easier if I had the proper tools to do it.
Yeah, a washcloth works best. And I always
imagine that, right?
Right.
Try to use does not have that.
I'll say try to use a gray washcloth too, so you don't stain all your white ones.
Yes.
Although it does come out with bleach, it does come out. I haven't stained too many white ones.
Well, that's also a thing that people don't sometimes those masks, I've had a hard time getting them off clothes when I have unfortunately done it when I shouldn't have, or cleaned it off wrong, or wasn't paying attention.
Mm-hmm, right.
My skin feels really good. So
I feel so clean after my charcoal mask. I absolutely love my mask days. And we also have a cleansing brush that gets your face so clean, 85% cleaner than using a washcloth. I say that's the difference between brushing your teeth with your finger or brushing your teeth with a toothpick.
Right.
So you want to wash your face with a brush. And we have an applicator too that you can apply those masks with. He used his fingers, but we do have silicone applicators and all kinds of things. So, the beauty of Mary Kay is you get to try everything before you buy it, and you're never stuck with anything. So
I just love, I want people to reach out to you because you want them to be educated. You're not just trying to sell a particular product. This isn't about a promo. I'm just trying to think of all the things that people think of when they think.
And we don't try to steal customers away from anybody either. So if you have a Mary Kay consultant, talk to her. She will absolutely come sit down with you, and that helps her in her leadership training and in her confidence. Just let her practice with you and share the products and share the opportunity with you. And that's all we ever want to do, is just get the word out on what we have to offer. Some will, some won't. We just keep going. Just keep asking more people.
All right, Christi, tell them the best way to find out more and get some of this stuff on their faces. Talk about self-care. What's the best way for them to reach out to you so they can learn more?
Yes. Well, my website is scrolling across the bottom with marykay.com/bees. But if you are looking for a consultant in your local area, we don't have territories. I can have customers anywhere, but you can also go on marykay.com and search somebody local to you. Or if you, like I said, if you have a friend or a consultant already, reach out to her and be like, I just saw Mary Kay on the TED show. Bring that charcoal mask over. I've never tried it.
I need it.
And we have men's colognes as well as women's perfumes, and then some limited edition body washes that pair with our colognes as well. And these are hair and body washes, like you were saying, like just all in one. We're just going to use one thing.
You made it easier. That's probably good for some people.
Exactly. So we tend to everybody, and then we have a 100% natural line as well.
Amazing stuff, Christi. We did it. Thank you so much again for being tenacious, persistent, perseverant. Is that a word? Being persevering. It was amazing. I love it. I want to do it again. I want to do it in person so we can get a little more in depth instead of Ted. Although you have to learn, it's your
Oh, wow.
face.
Yes.
Christi can't be with you every time you apply a mask, but she certainly can be available, just like with the pumps.
Yes.
But you're a joy to have on. It's so wonderful to have somebody on who believes in their company and their products and has such a passion for it. And guys, you are all at. You guys asked me, hey Ted, because for my age, I have pretty good skin, but I've been taking care of it for a little longer than most of the people. But that's never too late. Never too late to make an improvement. So if you're one of those people, definitely reach out to Christi. Christi, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's been a
Woo,
pleasure.
amazing. MaryKay.com/BEEZBees. And we'll be back another time. Christi, come back on anytime. All right. Thank you guys. Bye.